So let's pull up the game screen. And there is the game screen, guys. So you can actually see that we are heading closer and closer to the very next round. This, I believe, is the quarterfinals for Nordic and East, isn't it? Let's do a reload on the table, because they should be one game ahead. CLGEU, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm trying to find out. This is either the quarterfinals or the round of 16. Or the previous round. Na'Vi for Mother Russia. Yeah, so this is a quarterfinal. So the winner of this will be heading into the semi-final. And of course, you can find the bracket up on the Reddit post, which we linked a little bit earlier. Make sure you check that out. And yeah, we are all logged in, so ready to go. Next game, Na'Vi versus Team Mother Russia. This should be a fun one. Look at the ELO at the moment, 2,300 average against a 2,000 average with 2 players at 1,300. So that's a little bit worrying. We'll have to see whether or not this actually affects the game. So while we wait for the game to start, I'm going to throw up a quick advertisement in the background. And we will be back shortly. So that's busy running. I need to get my overlays updated.
What are the mods doing? Your mods are abusing me for my spelling.
Oh, shocking, shocking.
I know how to spell my own name, Pseudodog, but someone's stolen it.
I think they're trolling you.
Sorry, not Pseudodog, Pseudo-Swag.
I prefer Pseudodog. We'll go with Pseudodog. What do you think?
Just because he abused me about my spelling, he can stay a Pseudodog.
I like that. I like that. So we are into the Champion Select. And now let's see how the bans and picks are going to go on the Mother Russia side. And very interestingly, Fizz is the first one banned, followed up by Elise Sin. Now we've got Xin Zhao, Misfortune Victor. This is some high-pace banning. And Mordekaiser, I would say one sort of standard ban, if we want to go that far. What do you think of the pick so far? Really
My guess is they did pick some bans before we logged. The admins told them to wait for us. This is a remake. And they already know the champions.
You are wise beyond your years, good sir. That sounds very plausible. So we are going to see now a Shen being locked in for Mother Russia. I'm very interested about those bans. It's a pity. I love Fizz. Fizz is one of my favorite champions to play. I really like the damage you can put out in the play style. So let's see what's happening. Once Shen is locked in, and we'll go back to Na'Vi to select. Karthus in the mid. That gives for Mother Russia quite a lot of options against who they want to play. Ari is available, Ryze is available, Cassiopeia is available. There's a lot of preferred AP mids that you can stick in there against Nocturne.
I don't really want to make too many guesstimates about these picks because they're going to go so quickly. I'm going to wait until they all look in and then I'll discuss it. But, well, for Mother Russia's team, it's starting to take shape. And first thing I'm going to take from it is the fact that I love Java and I'm excited to see him.
And is that going to be a Jarvan top lane or Jarvan jungle when you consider Shen's in the game as well?
It'll most likely be top lane, especially considering, as I suspected, they'd already done the picks. There's no reason for them to pick and switch here. They were just picking their own champions.
Yeah, very, very true. I also noticed, that something I think it has been pointed out in chat a whole bunch of times, and I've only just read it. That says double lift on Jarvan.
It does. I have a feeling it might not be legit.
I feel the same. We'll just have to see once we get into the game what the latency looks like. Because if the latency is fairly high, it may be. And I'm really...
I am, sorry, while we're shamelessly plugging, 10 Facebook likes away from 1,000 now. And my Twitter's actually only 70 followers away.
Well, there we go, guys. Twitter and Facebook. Facebook.com/panky.lol. just help us out. Throw some love. If you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. That's fine. But if you'd like to help us out, it really does make quite a bit of a difference for us. So we have the champions locked in. We have Sand playing Leona. Some of the first games I ever casted were practice scrims for Na'Vi. So I've watched the Leona combo in that bot lane a lot. In addition, we've also got Orianna facing off against Karthus in the middle. We've then got Yorick versus Jarvan in the top lane. And that's an interesting one. I don't think I've seen Jarvan face off against Yorick. That's a matchup I have not seen many times before.
It's something that Jarvan has to take control of early on. Otherwise, you're just going to get completely zoned back and shut out and find it really hard to farm. One thing I do want to point out, after we mentioned it in the last game, that we expected to see Nautilus in quite possibly every game. Na'Vi banned him this one.
Yeah, very true. Well, he does... oh, yeah, okay.
Na'Vi banned Nautilus, Ari, and Jax when they did their proper round of picking.
Okay, so these are just random bans.
Yes. But Cotton X's memory fails him and he can't remember what Flash in the Night and For Mother Russia banned.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so right, that explains it then. So now we're going to have to see exactly what happens. We are into the last 2.5 minutes. What do you think about this middle lane? Orianna's got a pretty big amount of kill potential against Karthus if she can land the attack and dissonance orders.
This also goes on mana. She's really mana intensive using both the attack and dissonance quite a lot. And when you're up against Karthus, who has that mana regen from Defile and the eventual blue buffs from Carton X, Magix is going to have to be pretty conservative and smart in his mana usage. But I've seen Froggen do some amazing things with Orianna recently.
Yeah, very, very true. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. We already know that unless our Russian double lift is able to pick up some early advantage against Nezrelas on Yorick, my money's on Yorick winning that lane. It's so difficult to get him out with that Omen of Famine, the amount of hit points that it gives you back, and the fact that he can just stick to you like glue from the Omen of War and Pestilence. It's really, really difficult to get away from him. Bottom lane, Tariq Corki against Leona Graves. So it's two very aggressive champions, especially if Flashy in the Night opts to rank up his Shatter and, you know, land that Dazzle Shatter combo, follow it up with the Gatling gun and the Phosphorus Bomb. But is that enough burst to get through the stun and the slow from Leona and Buckshot from Graves? That's the real question. So we are into the last 45 seconds. I do have to throw one more small advert up. And when you get back, it will be Na'Vi facing off against For Mother Russia. And this is, of course, on the Nordic East server. And I believe they're one round ahead of us. So this is the round of 8. The winner of this goes into the semi-final. So, adverts are playing.
1,000.
Congratulations, congratulations. And if anybody is sitting there, that's over 1K. So, Panky, 1,000. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Now everyone needs to go and switch over to Quick Shot.
We'll see.
And how many are you up to?
I'm up to 844. So, I need 150 to break the 1,000. If anybody is there and you guys, you know, want to share some love, head over facebook.com/quickshot. And it just, you know, keeps you up to date to when we're casting and what we're up to. Generically named, no, I emphasize every word. I'm super excitable and always happy. Now, let's jump back over to the game. Skins. Mafia Graves is awesome. I love the sound effect. You can actually hear the shells being, you know, shot. Pew, pew, pew. It's really, really cool. Karthus is cool. I haven't seen the Pentakill Karthus in a very long time. And Warlord Shen has a flag on his back. It's a bit distracting, actually.
I'm not sure what to make of the Warlord Shen skin yet. I need to see it in a little bit more action.
I just keep getting frustrated by that flag that sits over his head. It really distracts me. I'll follow him now, you'll see. It waves in the wind. And that's all I can see. So we are following for Mother Russia. They are wearing the blue shorts down in the bottom left-hand corner. And of course, in the red shorts, Natas Vencia. And this is the quarter-final game, round of 8, on the Nordic and East. And I think double lift is a Russian double lift. I don't think it's a the US double lift that we're used to. So Flashy in the Knight is moving forward. No flash.
For Mother Russia have changed their lineup around quite a bit since I last watched them play, shall I say, actually. So much so that Flash in the Night was actually mid when I last saw them in action.
And how long ago was that?
That was about a month ago, back when they were Mouse, actually.
Alright. I actually work in the building that is directly above the Mouse Sports offices. So I'm literally sitting on Mouse Sports heads. If anybody's still there at 9 PM. Interesting use.
I think there might be. Esports seems to never stop working.
Yeah, very true.
And sorry for that slam in the background. My roommate's in the kitchen.
No problem. Ask him to make us a sandwich.
He's having a barbecue, which is horrible.
Oh, and you're
because I'm quite jealous.
The weather is pretty good for barbecue at the moment. So we have Shen starting off on his wolves. I'm going to be moving over. Oh, the big wolf was actually stolen by Maxja. He picks up the 44 gold and the experience, so that's going to put Shen a little bit behind. It's not the end of the world, really. So command attack goes out. Nocturne is going to be starting off on the red buff, and he started Boots Pots. Not really out of the ordinary. Gone with some additional attack speed, as well as the armor penetration on his runes. So it really looks like a very, very aggressive type of build. So, Sand has fallen back. He's picked up some additional wards, I think. Looks like it anyway. Double ward, Fairy Charm, and the pots, and he's heading back into lane to back up Antigen as he's chilling there.
I'm going to watch this top lane quite a lot, because I am really interested in this matchup, especially now that Double Lift, Misha apparently, has hit level 2.
Well, I wonder how this is going to play out. Chat, give us your feedback. Jarvan or Yorick? Who's going to win it? What do you guys think is really going to be the difference maker here? The middle lane as well is also going to be a very interesting one. Look at the damage coming out from Nezrelis. He's got the Omen. Look at the return damage from Double Lift. The Demacian Standard as well as that Dragon Strike really chunking Nezrelis down. And we got pressure on the bottom lane. Kotenks is going to be going away. Flashy in the Night flashes forward. Does land a Dazzle. But a defensive flash from Nocturne gets him to safety as well.
Yep, so flash down now on support and jungle and relatives in the bot lane. And to be honest, Nocturne being Nocturne, he's going to sit in his jungle and farm up to 6, and I think he's going to be a bit better off for that. Flash in the Night is going to have to be careful. I mean, look how aggressive this bot lane already is. Leona Graves.
Yeah.
And now that Flash in the Night doesn't have his flash to get away from that, could start being troublesome for him.
Big fight going down in the top lane. Double Lift and Nezrelis really going low. Both of them have got... Double Lift's got slightly better burst, but Nezrelis has the ability to sustain himself, get a lot of that hit points back. Already got the 2 points into the Omen of Famine, so that's going to be dealing 105 damage, and it returns 40% of the damage dealt. So every auto attack that ghoul lands after being summoned, it's still going to be healing him, still going to be keeping him alive. Everybody that is asking, this is not the real Double Lift, but it is, that's the name, so we are going to be sticking with it. So there comes the stun from Sand. Flashy in the Night taking some damage. The Phosphorus Bomb to the face, though, is going to put a lot of damage onto Sand. He's forced backwards. Both Ignites have been used on this bottom lane, though. But
trying to find out what Double Lift's real name is. See if we can at least give that people that. We're going to keep calling Double Lift through the game, otherwise people are going to get confused by why we're using a name that they can't actually see. But we're going to give him credit if he plays well, because at the moment he's keeping Nezrelis pushed right back and out of the lane.
Farm-wise as well, 26 to 21, but there is a pretty decent look at the damage there. Dragon Strike into the Demacian Standard. A flash from Nezrelis. He puts forward Lands the Omen of War, and now Koteng should be able to pick this up with a Fear proc. One more auto attack, and very, very smart from Nezrelis. Jump forward, put the Ignite down, and knew that Kotengs would be able to come in from behind and finish up that kill.
Nice quick first blood then. 5.5 minutes. It's not uncommon nowadays to see games go about 14-15 minutes before we see a kill. I've seen things go to like dragons before we've seen a first blood. But
yeah, very true. I like the nickname for Gotenks as well, or Kotengs. If anybody watched...
Cotonex.
Cottonex. I'm going with Kotengs, because it sounds like Gotenks from Dragon Ball Z. If anybody watched it, but...
Apparently they're bringing it back.
Oh wow, that would be fantastic. So first blood does go the way of Navi. And they've also got a small farm advantage as well, so pulling ahead ever so slowly. But of course it is only 6 minutes into the game, so you can't really write on too much. Double lift in the top lane. He's opted to go for a Doran's Blade. It's really going to increase the damage that he can put out. But in reply, Nezrelis has gone for a Chain Vest and the Mana Crystal. So that'll help at least mitigate a lot of the burst damage or that auto attack damage that Jarvan's going to be putting out. Bottom lane, Movie! 3 points into Phosphorus Bomb. Opting to level the burst combo from Corki, slightly more than the Armor Shred. And Maxja, 3 points into attack. Very, very good attack and then dissonance. Keeping Karthus on the back foot. Keeping Citizen Wayne just a little bit defensive there in that mid lane.
I like how he's doing that, but unfortunately for him,
and they're on
the way Karthus is.
On the bottom lane, we do get a pull all the way forward onto Movie. The stun does get applied to Flashy in the night. Now we're going to have to wait to see. There's a little bit of split focus between the champions, so Sand and Antigen aren't able to pick up a kill, but they force Taric and Corki backwards.
Yeah, at the very least, they put him down low, and as you just see, they're now going to have to leave the lane. Taric, okay, he has a heal, but it doesn't really count. It's not classed to sustain like the Sorakas and Alicers and things are.
Yep.
So, you can force them that low, you're going to force them out of lane.
Antigen is out of mana now. Down to 55, so he's not going to be able to get a full combo once he hits level 6, which is very, very shortly. He's just going to have to wait to get some of this mana back. And if Movie and Flashy in the night decide to commit to this, they might be able to pick up a kill on Sand. He is very, very low. But he's going to be falling back instead, and has opted to recall as well. In the top lane, we do see Ilex setting up against Nezrelis. Was thinking about putting some pressure down, but opts to fall backwards instead. Double lift sitting on 50 CS to the 41 of Nezrelis. So the pressure on the farm, it appears he's out farming Nezrelis, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Nezrelis has kept him pushed under the tower, so he's lost a couple to that. But Nezrelis is staying a long way back because he knows Jarvan can burst him down. So he's staying right back, let the minion waves build up. He's going to CS from range when he knows he's safe. And I suspect he also had a suspicion about Chen, but the rest of his team are rushing in a very quick dragon at 8.5 minutes, and Flash in the Night seems quite surprised when he drops a ward there to spot it.
Free dragon, 8.5 minutes, no challenge, and that's fairly early as well. I mean, the standard sort of timing when it comes to dragon is what, 10 to 12 minutes is when you start looking at it really. So, a little bit early, well played to Na'Vi. Noticing they can get away with that, and pulling 4 champions to do so. But it does give them a gold advantage, which is very good. In terms of Nezrelis' level, 4 points into Omen of Famine. We have to see what he starts to level up next. It does tend to be the Omen of War. Only 1 extra point into Pestilence, just to get that additional slow, or the higher slow percentage. And Kotzenex does have Paranoia. Double buff as well. About a third left, or a quarter left on that red buff. So whether or not we're going to see a Paranoia dive or not is really what's going to... see if he can pick up this kill. He's moving into the bottom lane, going to be setting up for a bush gank. Taric is missing as well. Let's see if Movie overextends and steps a little bit past the safe zone. Farm-wise, 87 in the mid to 89 on Orianna. Top lane, about as even. There goes a very, very good dive. The stun comes out, an ultimate as well. Collateral damage is going to be enough to chunk him down, but the Paranoia is going to deal just the last hit. Karthus does have his ultimate available, waiting for the Shen ultimate to go, and I assume he's going to cast it shortly. No Karthus ultimate. No Requiem. Oh, it's on cooldown. Because it was used. It was used during the course of that fight. I just did not see the animation.
I didn't see either. I was not paying any attention at all. But Codnex is wow, taunted and stunned under the tower. But they will get picked up. Flash in that as well. Codnex a little bit outstaying his welcome.
Well, that's very interesting because Karthus has used his ultimate. It's on cooldown, but I did not see the animation.
Yeah, there's a lot to pay attention to. Either we missed it or it bugged out completely.
Yeah, it could have been caught by Sand's ultimate as well. That solar flare with, you know, the huge line. It could have hidden it. But either way, ultimate down. No assist for Karthus, unfortunately, so may have been a tad late. Not actually able to deal any damage and pick up an assist on that. So 2-for-1 trade. Na'Vi managing to pick up the kills.
Apparently everyone in chat saw it, so we're just completely blind.
Alright, thank you chat. You guys notice it. It was after the Leona ulti. So, there we go. Well played. 1,500
Either
gold.
way, it didn't pick up the kill.
Yep,
so
and it didn't even get an
irrelevant.
assist. Yeah, it didn't give an assist either. Which is the only reason I was quite confused, you know. Now we do have Cotton X. He's moving up into this top lane. Double lift, falling back, running away. And I like to see on Nocturne at the moment, he's gone for the GP5s. Antigen in the bottom lane, he also managed to pick up that blue buff from the kill he was able to pick up. So that's going to give him a lot of buck shots, just being continually dealing out damage, even able to actually pick up that ward kill before it managed to go invisible. That's frustrating when that happens. 1,500 gold advantage, Na'Vi slowly in the lead. And if they can keep pulling off those ganks, keep pulling off that pressure, it's going to set them up very, very nicely for the mid-game. But in terms of late-game damage, Karthus and Yorick really going to become beasts. And really just get stronger and stronger the game goes on. And if Yorick is able to put that Omen of Death onto Graves, look at the pressure coming out now. Nezrelis gets taunted, then knocked up. Ignite goes down as well. The Omen of Death has been used on himself. Cataclysm plus one more attack is going to be enough to finish him off. And a very, very good gank on that top lane from Elec in double lift.
Nezrelis is actually just...
And now on the bottom lane we've got pressure. They managed to blow up Taric just completely alone. Paranoia comes out from Cottonex. He moves forward, taking a couple of auto attacks from the turret. The buckshot from range from Antident does actually pick up the kill though.
Cottonex just walk back on out of there in the tower range. It was safe. Perfectly played. And, well... Still didn't see the Karthus all that time because he didn't use it, so that wasn't our fault. There we go,
there we go. So, 2 kills picked up for Na'Vi in exchange for the 1. Very good ganks coming out from both junglers at this time. And Sandmunchin and Antigen, they're going to leave this tower, allow the tower to pick up a few more creep kills before it goes down. And the first tower of the game goes the way of Na'Vi as well. So they're going to be increasing their map control and really going to be driving home a lot more pressure. Wriggle's Lantern is completed as well as the Heart of Gold, and a fairly early Rod of the Ages on Karthus as well. 133 CS, around the 13-minute mark, so that's actually pretty good. Not been involved in any kills or assists just yet, but that's going to start taking over, giving him the hit points, the mana, and of course, just making him stronger the longer the game goes on.
And Orianna just made her way across to the blue buff, but it's currently being worn by Shen. The red buff managed to steal it from Orianna.
That's very, very annoying. And on a champion like Orianna, who's very mana intensive and needs that mana regen to be able to continue to cast her spells, that's going to put her behind. Now, is Karthus wearing the blue at the moment? He is not. So we're going to have to see whether or not... There we go. The blue buff has just respawned. Pressure has gone down onto Nezrelis now. Maxija is opting to use the shockwave as well. Ignite goes down. If Shen wants to move one more auto attack and the command attack, very well played from Maxia. Knowing exactly how much damage he's able to put down and picks up Nezrelis pretty much for free. There wasn't really much of a fight there.
No, I'm really surprised by Nezrelis. You know, he plays really well in this top lane. And he's certainly dropping behind here. I mean, he does play a phenomenal Jax, but that was banned out.
Yep, Jax was removed from the player pool. Very well played by Max and Oriana. Once again landing another. Oh, there goes the taunt out. They immediately focused on Cottonex. He blows up while Cottonex has been taken out. Tariq goes down in the background. Sand Mansion does manage to flash out of the Cataclysm and get away, but Movie's the next one's going to be falling, and this has all of a sudden gone a 2-for-4 trade. Karthus has gone down. They have managed to pick up 4 players from Mother Russia. They managed to turn it around, so that's a 3-for-5 trade in the end. Jarvan manages to pick up 2. Very, very well played.
Had no Nezreless. That was 4v5 to Na'Vi.
4v5, and they managed to pick up an ace. So it was a 3 deaths for 5 kills. But the damage that Karthus was putting out was absolutely immense. Nocturne got focused so early on, he wasn't even able to use Paranoia. And Karthus was just there. He landed so much damage from the Lay Waste, and the Defile was just continually ticking over every single champion. Really well played by Citizen Wayne and Graves in that particular situation. Look at Antigen, 4-0-5 right now. He had the pickaxe and the zeal completed with all those kills. Is now sitting on 1,700 gold. So, probably going to finish the Phantom Dancer, considering he has the crit gloves as well. But we'll just have to see what he decides to buy and decides to upgrade. Gold graph is now to 5,000.
Na'Vi are going to slowly start this snowball. I mean, Karthus is someone you do not want to give kills to, and he's got 3 to his name now after that last fight. Another blasting wand on the top of his Rod of Ages, which of course only gets stronger with time. And to be honest, he hasn't had it for very long either, so he's got a lot more AP and health to come for him.
Keep in mind as well, he was 0-0-0 before the beginning of that last fight. And he managed to pick up a triple kill and 2 assists. And I don't even... he did use Requiem right at the end of the fight as well. So every single one of those champions had been hurt or killed by Karthus. Really well played by Citizen Wayne. His positioning was great. And just towards the end of the fight, he was still in and amongst everybody that he could deal damage from. Death defied his passive from Beyond the Grave. Now all of a sudden with the Frozen Heart completed, Nezrelis is actually putting some more damage onto Double Lift. But Double Lift does have that Hex Drinker. He does have the ability to just mitigate some of the magic damage that Nezrelis is putting out. Look at the farm in the mid lane. 183 for Oriana and 175 for Karthus. Such huge numbers.
We do have a gank being set up in the top lane again. They want to get onto Nezrelis. Double Lift starting the fight, trying to bait him forward.
Citizen
land
Wayne.
a knock up.
Citizen Wayne is on his way up though, so he does manage to make it into the fight, but it is too late to save Double Lift. So now Double Lift's the next one to go down. Stand United is used, but it's not enough to save him. Now all of a sudden Paranoia dives in. Cottonex is going to be seeing if he can get the Fear proc. The Fear pushes Island right back in between everybody. And Lay Waste from Citizen Wayne manages to pick up that kill.
Really lucky Fear as Na'Vi are concerned, but Magix catches a slow to the face from that Karthus wall. Now being baited backwards and forwards around the tower. The Fear's going to go out. He does use his ult onto Cottonex. The Ignite's ticking. Cottonex's going to flash away from the tower. Magix is low. Citizen Wayne gets the Lay Waste at max range. And another kill for Na'Vi, and more importantly, another kill for Karthus. That's 3 more since that last fight, and he's now 6-1, and he's carrying a lot of gold.
Have a look at Antigen's build right now. He's gone for an Executioner's Calling. Lifesteal, Critical Strike, as well as inflicting enemy champions causing grievous wounds. That's a pretty interesting one. Flashy and the Knight is now committing to a fight here by himself. I don't know why he was doing that, what he was thinking. Collateral damage comes out from Antigen. If he doesn't pick up the kill, Requiem will. And that was a poor decision, if we can say that.
I think he may have given up.
Yeah. That makes me... I think so too. An interesting build from Graves at the minute. I don't think I've ever seen an Executioner's Calling. Or I lie. Maybe a year ago when we were still seeing a little bit of Jax, a little bit of Dr. Mundo. But it's a long time since I've seen that in top level play.
Actually, it's something that Snoopy's been trying, or had been trying about 2-3 weeks back with Nocturne. Because he'd start Vampiric Scepter in the jungle, and then have nothing that he really wanted to build it into, because he didn't particularly want the Wriggles. He'd go for a Wit's End and a Phage or something like that, and wanted something to build his Vantage around. So if he was up against a Mundo, he'd build an Executioner's Calling.
It makes perfect sense against Dr. Mundo. It means you can save that Ignite for a killing blow as opposed to negate the ultimate. So you can use it a little bit more aggressively or offensively to confirm that kill. And now it looks like Flashy in the Night may be caught out once again. If Sand can manage to land that blade, the ultimate beautifully duked from Flashy, but it's not going to be enough. The slow comes down, there goes the smoke grenade. Flashy in the Night giving up another kill in exchange for a ward. That was all that was really done there. Cottonex juking all of the abilities, dodges the command attack, dodges the dissonance, dodges the missile barrage. Such great character control. And Na'Vi are now sieging the mid lane.
I don't even know how long the Mother Russia can be able to last behind this. There's so much damage coming out in the poke from Na'Vi, and to be honest, when they want to, they're going to be strong enough to just start a fight. There's a lot of CC there for Mother Russia, so it would be really risky. They are ridiculously strong now with their 8,000 gold, 7,000 gold beads, sorry.
Na'Vi really in the driving seat at the moment. They've picked up both